So it might get lost in a 7-1 win, but you guys won the face-off battle. How significant is that?
It's nice to have won one. I don't know if it was a direct, correlation to this way the game went, but it means we're making adjustments as the series goes on. So that shows a bit of a maturity as a group, starting to adjust to what's been going on. But it's nice to win, but I don't think it was a huge bearing on the game.
Mark, when you were inserted onto that top unit power play earlier in the season, it was pretty clear what was required in that spot. Shoot at every possible opportunity. You just describe the attitude you took into being given that opportunity towards shooting.
Well, yeah, and I wanted to prove I belonged there. I think it probably didn't come with a lot of fanfare that I was put there, so I wanted to prove that I could contribute in that spot. So for me, I knew I could shoot the puck well, and those guys are great passers, and it's turned into something. I've kind of carved out a bit of a role on this team with that, and it's worked out well for the power play and for me.
Do you think they were looking for you to get the hat trick last night? It looked like on that power play, they 5-on-3, that they just kept passing it to you, and you pass it back to somebody else.
Yeah, one of those things where you try not to force it. Even on the goals that I've scored this year, it just kind of happens. We're not looking for it. I would have loved to have gotten the third one. I heard hat sales kind of went up after Leon. They tossed them all for him. They had to go reload. So would have been nice to have got another bunch on the ice.
Mark, what do you think you know? What do you think you believe about Game 7s?
Well, they're fun. They're unique. I don't think there's anything like them in sports, especially in hockey. How the playoffs, every play is amplified, but in Game 7 it seems to be even more. Every play has so much weight, and you really don't know what's going to be the important play. And I know we say that for all games, but this one more so. Your season's on the line, both teams. So you kind of get everybody's best game. The desperation's at its peak.
Best memory for you, Game 7?
Well, I haven't had a lot of good ones. Personally, I've played in one. Was with Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. They came back from a 3-1 deficit. But Game 7's watching on TV. I mean, I chew my fingernails down to the nubs. It's just there's so much fun to be a part of. The stress of it as a fan. It's just something cool to be a part of.
Mark, what does this team have that's going to get them through those big moments in Game 7 that you just talked about?
Well, I think what we've got is a team. I think we really rely on each other. I don't think there's any one person we look at to be the catalyst for us. I think every night it's been different, or it's been a penalty kill or a power play or a goaltender. And I think we've leaned on each other. And in times like this, you're going to need the whole group. And I think we're ready. I think we're confident that we can beat this team.
Anaheim's got lots of Game 7 history, all of it bad. You guys don't have any history. What's better?
Well, sometimes it's nice to be naive. Sometimes it's nice to just go in there and kind of be, stupid to it. You don't realize what you're in, how important the game is. I think experiencing it for the first time, it's exciting for everybody. We're just going to go out and play. We don't really have anything to fall back on, but it's, again, I think a lot of guys in there are pretty excited to get in there and experience this together.
Cam and Milan yesterday talked about stepping up and how Leon stepped up. And is that kind of been the message all along in that room about it's not just going to be one or two guys, it could be anybody on any given night?
Well, it's been a message all year for us. Although Connor and Leon have carried most of the load all year, we've had contributions from a lot of different areas. And even last night, Connor doesn't get on the scoreboard, but he was leading us last night. He was doing a lot of things, little battles. Even on Leon's hat trick goal, he drives the middle and opens up the lane. He does a lot of things that way. And Leon, right from the start of the game, you could tell he was determined to lead us and show us the way. So it's been good. We've gotten people to step up. I'm sure there'll be somebody different come Wednesday.
Is that this team's edge up front? Because Anaheim relies heavily on their top six.
I mean, I don't know if it gives us an edge. Their top six has been pretty good. It's got them to a Game 7 situation, so I don't necessarily see it as an edge. I think it's a pretty balanced matchup. I think we got the better of them last night, and Wednesday should be a different story maybe.
How many 4-pointers did you have for the Pontiacs?
Many, yeah.
No Game 7s for the Pontiac?
No. Well, we had a couple. Yeah, it was always Fort McMurray. So again, not a lot of good memories.